How you decide to market your brand is how you show up in the world. Just Marketing is committed to making a difference through being and building inclusive, accessible, anti-racist, compassionate businesses. If we haven't met yet, my name is Meg Brunson, and Just Marketing combines my passion for accessibility and inclusivity with my expertise in the digital marketing space. Let's do this. All right, it's time to talk about the trolls. The Just Marketing Guide to Dealing with Trolls. Social media breeds bullies and it breeds trolls. People who seem to enjoy being mean and stirring up drama for no other reason than to be mean and stir up drama. These people are often able to hide behind the anonymity of their keyboards and the internet. They face no accountability for the things that they say. They are more rude and crass than I expect they would be if you encountered them face to face in real life. These people are proudly and or ignorantly racist and bigoted. These people, you get the gist, right? It's a harsh reality that as marketers, we have to prepare ourselves for trolls, and especially as just marketers, because someone always wants to hate on anything that's progressive. But we're going to keep moving forward regardless of those keyboard warriors, all right? Let's share some ideas here. First of all, I want to go over 5 warning signs that you have, in fact, encountered a troll. First things first, we have to know what we're working with, right? Know thy enemy. We need to ensure that the person is not, in fact, trying to provide us with constructive criticism. We always want to evaluate everything with an equity-centered lens, which means we don't want our own biases causing us to identify someone as a troll in error, okay? So if you believe you're receiving constructive criticism, then you need to genuinely consider what you might have done wrong, and you can check out episode 4, where we talk about what to do when you mess up. It happens to the best of us. By evaluating our own actions through an equity-centered lens, we can ensure that our own biases aren't inadvertently causing us to identify someone as a troll, right? Just because we don't agree with someone doesn't necessarily mean they're trolling. Unfortunately, sometimes they are, and these are some of the warning signs that may indicate that you are, in fact, dealing with a troll. So first of all, blindness to evidence. Trolls refuse to believe that anyone else could possibly be correct. They know it all. They're the experts. They will ignore facts altogether, refuse to consider any evidence you provide, and they certainly won't share any credible evidence of their own. They'll say just marketing is crap, and then they'll say nothing valuable about how we can make marketing more inclusive, right? Number 2 is name calling. When trolls lack more substantial input or simply want to escape your valid response, trolls will often resort to calling you names. These insults could range from the latest trending insult, calling you a sheep or using the name Karen, etc., to cussing. Any common cuss words can be inserted here. Do not be surprised by the name calling and don't stoop to their level, right? Number 3, topic redirects. You probably could have guessed this one. If you had a friend who liked to argue as a kid, you would know that this is a signature move. Trolls enjoy making off-topic remarks or posting totally unrelated images or memes to try to distract other people from the actual topic being discussed. They usually resort to this when their arguments begin to be exposed as unreasonable. The 4th way to identify you may be dealing with a troll is they use a very condescending tone. I don't care what you're saying, but you must listen to me. Don't ask me questions. I'll throw a fit if you do. You must take what I say as it is. I'm right. I don't care what you think or said. Yep, that's the troll for you. For trolls, the more drama, the better. And the 5th way to evaluate whether you're dealing with a troll is they are always over-exaggerating. There's no middle ground. Everything is on the extreme end of the spectrum. There's no room for compromise or mutual understanding. It's all black and white. If you post content publicly on the internet, it's only a matter of time before you are the victim of trolling and or bullies. And since marketing our businesses tends to be completely public by design, this is something we must prepare ourselves for, even more so if you're pushing for a paradigm shift to just marketing, like I am. So how can we proactively prepare for troll attacks? All right, understand this, first of all. Trolls get their kicks out of causing other people distress. This is not about you, and you're never going to change the mind of a troll. They will derail you from your goals if you let them. So don't. Here's some suggestions on how to prepare for those troll attacks so they don't get you down and they don't cause you to question your just marketing efforts. First, I encourage you to build a support network. This is not an easy one. I definitely recommend having help in one form or another. If your business is big enough, you can bring on a team for comment moderation. And if not, I recommend that you have a person or a group of people that you can turn to for emotional support and guidance on how to respond. Well, spoiler alert, we have a little community of equity-centered entrepreneurs. So check out the show notes if you want that link and we can embark on your just marketing journey together. All right. The second thing we can do is create a policy. So a social media comment and posting policy that's aligned with your values can help to clearly outline the type of content that you allow on your page. This way, when people get upset that you removed their content, you have a policy to back you up. Now, of course, you don't need a policy to delete content on your pages, but having one can take some of that pressure off of you, and then you can kind of blame the policy for your need to take actions, right? Third tip, allow yourself time to decompress. This is a big one for me. This is one of my number one tips for dealing with anything difficult, not just trolls, but anything difficult. Allow yourself time to process and cool off before trying to respond in a professional and value-aligned way. Sometimes you just need a few minutes. Sometimes you may need an hour. Sometimes you may need 24 of them. If you don't know the best way for you to personally decompress, take some time to explore. Take a walk, watch a movie, spend some time with your kids, do whatever works for you, and then come back later to deal with the troll. On responding to trolls, heed the words of Mark Twain, who said this about pigs. Never wrestle a pig. It gets mud all over you, and the pig likes it. Got it? And it's only going to harm the reputation of your brand. I don't recommend ignoring trolls. Your audience is watching, and oftentimes failure to speak up against negative behavior is perceived as accepting that behavior. This is where the term silence is compliance comes from. Your brand is responsible for speaking up and for setting the tone for what is and is not acceptable on your social media accounts. It shows that you're serious about your commitment to your values and the issues at hand. All right, enough said about that. So how should you respond to these trolls? There are 4 approaches you can take. Listen through all of them, all right? The first approach is the kindness approach. You've heard the phrase, kill them with kindness. In some cases, kindness can eliminate a troll problem. Well, this approach won't work with more harmful trolling. When it comes to comments that are just annoying, a simple, thanks for that insight and have a blessed day, ends the conversation and leaves them with some snarky kindness. The humor approach, number 2. Humor comes super easy to some people, and when leveraged appropriately, it can diffuse a negative situation. The fast food restaurant Wendy's is notorious for doing this really, really well on social media. Not me, though. I am not very funny. I know this about myself. I'm not like quick and witty. So I don't try to take an approach that I know I'm not good at. So if you are, in fact, quick and witty, this might work really well for you and your brand. However, you need to be careful that you're not crossing the line where your humor becomes offensive to others. Think about Chris Rock at the Oscars. Unfortunately, this happens far too often, even with those professional comedians. The third approach you can take when dealing with trolls is an educational approach. If the trolls are spreading misinformation, you can reply with facts. The troll themselves usually does not care about the facts. However, this approach allows you the opportunity to educate other people who come across that trolling. And this is the approach that I personally prefer to use. I find that it challenges me to learn more about controversial topics so that I can craft the educational responses that I want to deliver. In this way, I can use some trolling comments for my own personal growth and development. And even better, I have received feedback from my community that this approach is most helpful for them as well. Fourth, we have the enforcer approach. You are the boss of your social media accounts, and it is your responsibility to control the content and ensure that it's inclusive. If you have a social media comment and posting policy, The enforcer approach would be to link to that policy with a simple response that the content in the comment or post is not allowed, period. You may choose to leave it up, give them that one warning. Others will no doubt appreciate that you stepped in and identified the problem. It's completely up to your discretion whether the comment is harmful enough to remove or whether you leave it up as an example for others that you are standing by your rules and ethics. Here's an example of what you could say. This page does not tolerate hate speech. You can refer to our policies at this URL. If you continue to violate the policies, you may be blocked, banned, or reported. Period. That's exactly what it sounds like. Delete the comments, block or ban the user from your page, and or report the user to the social media platform if their content is in violation of the platform's community standards. No comments, no warnings. I definitely recommend this approach for hate speech. You'll have to determine where the line is drawn for your own brand and business. You get to choose which one of these approaches suits you best as a brand and use it at will. Alternatively, you can assess each instance of trolling and decide which approach would be the best response. None of this is easy. I'm sure you would rather choose not to deal with social media trolls at all if you had the option, but it is what it is. You can't control the trolls. You can only manage your response to them. And you're doing important work in this world. Dealing with the trolls is just one of those things we have to do in order to make the world a better place. We have made Just Marketing accessible to you however you prefer to consume your content. Subscribe and listen on your favorite podcast player. Subscribe on our YouTube channel to watch the videos or read our transcriptions on the blog, and you can subscribe there as well. We'd appreciate honest reviews wherever you are listening. And of course, if you would share this content with anyone who is or should be on a Just Marketing journey. Thank you so much for being with us again today. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.